You ready for a real story? Let's kick back. Bring it.
Rolling with Kickback. Okay. So what is Kickback about? This is our first episode here at the podcast, and I'm going to introduce my guest in a second. Here we are at Leafy Latitude Cigar Lounge here in Boulder City, Nevada, and we are in an actual bank. This is a bank, David.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So they turned the lounge, they turned the bank into a cigar lounge, and myself and the owners were just looking at it one day, and we saw that there was a bank vault. Okay. And so with the bank vault was just sitting there for storage, and we decided we're going to turn this thing into a studio. Why not do a podcast out here? Because why? Because Kickback is all about talking to people with real stories about their success and about their failures. And like anything else in life, we have a vault, right? And everybody has that vault. And we lock up some of those successes and we lock up some of those failures. And then we take some of the failures out and then we take those successes out. So we're constantly making withdrawals and deposits from our own bank vault. So this symbolizes what our show is about, which is talking to people like David here. And we're going to try to unlock some of these secrets. And we'll be talking to people from all walks of life, all types of businesses, celebrities, you name it, athletes. We'll be talking to them about what it is that made them a success and what is it that keeps their head afloat. And a lot of people start out in a lot of different ways. We're going to learn that here. And I'm looking forward to learning it because throughout my life, I've had my successes and failures. And I still try to learn from them, as we all do. Right, Dave?
That's exactly right.
Exactly. What do you think of that cigar?
I love it. This one is really good.
Oh, this is that. You know, that's got a lighter leaf on it.
Yeah.
I have the darker one, so mine's gonna be a little bit more of a Maduro. But I like the Oliva.
I'm new into this world of the cigars, and I'm loving it so far. So I'm
good.
Starting a little bit,
You gotta start out slow.
Yes.
You're gonna get that head rush. Don't want that head rush, and that does. So David Mendez, he's my guest today, and David has come from. I mean, he's been around a long time. He's come from a lot of different areas of employment throughout his life and to where he is now, which is his own business. Exactly. And he is a financial advisor, but he started somewhere like we all do. David was from Mexico City in particular.
Mexico City. Exactly.
Yes. And he came here how many years ago?
34, I believe.
34.
34 years.
Yeah. And you did it the right way, I believe.
Yes.
We know the controversies going on.
Yes.
Yeah. So he did it the right way. We're going to hear about that journey and some of the things he's touched on, what jobs he got into, including one of the funny things we're going to talk about. David had a brush with getting in NASCAR as a driver. So that's the fun part. But let's hear about it. So what was your first job in Mexico City and how old were you?
I was 17 and a half in Mexico. And but first, I want to start with this. I want to congratulate you. This is an awesome place. I love this place. This is my first podcast, so I'm a virgin. So be gentle.
But you were on the radio before.
I was on the radio. This is different.
You were on the #1 Mexican station here in Las Vegas,
Hispanic,
and you had your own show for a while.
Yes, we got I met with somebody that is very controversial here in town, and it was just a business dinner.
Right.
It turned out into a controversy. We got both sides of thinking. And he goes, David, I love your courage. I love the way you fight, your energy. And let's talk. That was at that time, there was in 1994, I believe.
Wow.
Something like that. And the Hispanic radio was starting to grow here in Vegas.
Yeah, we're starting to get big now.
It was starting to get big. And so the first talk show in Spanish, it was with him. And I got invited, and then we took over. The people loved the controversy that we got together. The way we have the discussion, and at the end, we're still friends. We got two adults talking all kinds of issues. We got two different points of view, but at the end, we gotta find a way how to work together.
That's great.
And that was the great thing about that show with this guy, and it was really nice. But this one is different. Now over there, nobody sees you. You're on the radio. Nobody sees nothing.
Podcasts have gone from just being a talking show that people listen to on Spotify, whatever it may be. Now people watch podcasts. They've become mini talk shows in a way, and it's great because people get to, identify more with the person that's talking and the person that's being interviewed.
Exactly.
And sharing ideas. And I think that comes across well when you have a podcast that is broadcast with a video.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So, but let's get back to Mexico. You were 17 at the time.
17 and a half.
Yeah.
And one of my friends goes, David, there was a census at that time. Because, we're looking for people that is not afraid to talk. You talk to everybody. So I think you should be good for this kind of job.
Right.
So I was doing the census.
The census, huh?
So I did it for 5 months, I think, or something like that. And at that time, then I met somebody that he goes, I like your personality. Come and work with me. So I went there, start working with this guy. And from that job, I find another one that I spend most of my time in Mexico working as an optician.
So you work for an
I would learn how to
optician?
do the eye exam.
So eyeglasses.
The eyeglasses.
Just eyeglasses. So you were selling prescription eyeglasses?
Yes, I learned how to do the exam. I know how to do the exam and all that.
Right.
And because of my personality, I was a really good salesman. I sell glasses to everybody, and people did not need glasses, but
They need them.
they got glasses.
So that was it. So you know what? I think you need glasses.
Yes.
So they would come in there to get their eye test done.
They got the eye
And even if they
test
didn't
for
need-
free,
For free,
and then we sell them the glasses.
And that's it, huh?
And that was it.
No,
People show up and they say, "Hey, we have free eyeglasses, free eye test. So let's do it." And it's okay. Hey,
So you were selling glasses
You need a
to
little
people?
correction or on the conversation. Say, "Hey, I work with computers. Say you need a little tint on your glass." At that time, the tint was yellow.
Right,
So
the yellow tinted glasses. I remember those.
and-
Yeah, I think I still have a pair of those.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe. I don't know.
So then I say, "Hey, you need these glasses.
Right.
Your eyes is the most important thing that you have in your body. So you gotta protect them from the computer.
Right.
You need the glasses." And the woman, I say, "Hey, you look so beautiful with these glasses." I will test few of those in them and say, "You look so beautiful." I put a little pink tint on it.
Right, a little tint on
I
it.
said, "You look so beautiful with these glasses."
So you just
And they would
schmoozing
buy
them.
it.
You were schmoozing them. So
They
you
would
were,
buy it. It was
she was just like 18 at this time, right?
I was 18 at that
And
time.
just selling those glasses,
Yeah.
and that's great. So what was it like living in Mexico City that many years ago? Was it a safe place to be in? Was it a happy place to be in? I mean,
Mexico is a very happy place to be. It's a lot of culture, a lot of things
oh,
that
yeah.
you can do over there. Now it's a little crazy with all the situation that we have with the mafia and a lot of things are happening in Mexico right now. But it's still a good place to live.
Right.
But 30 years ago, it was a lot better.
A lot better, yeah.
It was a lot better.
Was it more safe then 30 years
Yes.
ago? It was.
It
Okay.
was more safe. Not too many craziness like right now.
Right.
So it's still good, but it's at that time it was a lot more safe.
Now you go back and forth there still, right?
I go visit my parents still live over there. All my family is over there. I'm the only one here. I'm
Right.
the only crazy
You're the
one
only
here.
one here, huh?
And I got family in Reno and some in California, but
Most
my
of the
main
families-
family is in Mexico.
Okay.
So I try to go there once, twice a year, sometimes more if I can. And people here in Vegas, I've been here for 30 years, and when they say, "Oh, you gotta go all the way down to Boulder City, you gotta go all the way down to Centennial." I said, "Shit, it's only 40 minutes drive." I'm in my car, I'm watching my podcast,
Right.
listen to my music, having my coffee, whatever,
Right.
comfortable. When I was in Mexico City, from where I live to where I work, it was 2.5 hours in the morning.
2.5. That was a one-way trip.
One way, 2.5 hours in the morning. Used to go to work.
Wow.
And here, we enjoy is 8 hours and you're out. Over there, 10, 12 hours a day.
That was your day. That was your
That was
working
the
day.
day.
So that wasn't like an overtime day. That is
Oh,
an
no,
actual
just-
work day.
Just one day, and that's it, So that's why when I was, with the commissions for selling the glasses, I was making a killing. I was making really good.
So were you living at home still when you were
I
selling
was
glasses?
with my parents. I lived with my parents until I was 21. I think I came to this country when 21 or 22.
So you came here at 21, 22, and I believe it's because you had an uncle in Reno, right?
I never thought about coming over here. And then at 18, when I started working in the glasses, I met this beautiful girl that
Oh, there was your
I
downfall.
fell in love with her.
There was your downfall.
We were together
That
for
was
2
it.
years and something. And I thought I was going to marry her. I never thought I was coming over
Right,
to the
right.
US. And my uncle, he called me one time. I get along really good with him. So he called me one time and he goes, "What did you come over here for to visit? Just come and see." And so I'm in love and I have a good job. I'm making good money. I said, "Not really. Not right now."
Right.
And then he came a few months later. He went to Mexico and we worked together for like a week or so. We're talking and he's mentioned that again. And I said, "No, I don't think right now." So like 6 or 8 months after that, I started having problems with my girlfriend at that time. And then there were rumors that the company was going to close.
Right.
And they already closed few shops, and they were saying that it was going to go bankrupt. And my uncle called me again and said, "Why don't you try?" I said, "Well, maybe I'm having problems with this girl. The job is going to close." I said, "Shit, let's go do it." So I
Right.
went and got my visa and come over here. And then being here, I decided to stay. We started the process, and here I am.
So what was the process like when you were going through getting the visa and then doing it the right way to come here? Was it a long process? Was it a complicated process?
A little complicated. It was a little, I think it took 2 years,
2
2.5
years?
years,
Wow.
something like that.
Okay.
And so my uncle in his company that he got at that time, he started the process of getting the documents
Okay. So he started
for
doing the
me.
documents
Yeah.
for you. Okay.
And then in the meantime, I was doing landscaping with him
Right.
on the weekends and weekdays. I had a few things that I was doing jobs. I always been very active. I cannot sit down for too long in the house doing nothing. So always moving.
Right.
Some people tell me I have the
ADHD?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't believe it. I'm just
You're just driven. I mean, you're
just
driven to
have a
do
lot of
something.
energy. Yes.
Yeah. A lot of energy.
And so I was doing a lot of things, and I always like sales. And I always like and I like to read, and I read a lot. When I was in Mexico, I read a lot of books about selling, and all
Right.
these people that have been successful, and almost all of them have some kind of sales. And so we started the process doing all those kind of jobs, and I have a lot of respect for the people that work in landscaping, construction,
I do too.
because that sucks. That job really hard, especially here in Vegas. At that time I was in Reno. Reno gets that to 90 degrees, 95
Right.
degrees.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not as hot as down here.
But it's still very hot.
It is very hot.
But here is really crazy.
Right.
So yeah, so in that process, I met another girl in 8 months or a year, I think. In the dating, she goes, "Let's get married," and she was a U.S. citizen.
Right.
So when I got married, she pushes the process to be a little faster.
Right, because now
Yeah.
you were in the process at that time. Your uncle got the paperwork started, but getting married obviously moves that a lot quicker because you're marrying a U.S. citizen at that time.
And yeah, so we were together for like 5 years, I think, 4 or 5 years, and then we moved to Vegas, and we ran out of the cold in Reno. I mean, to me, the snow is nice.
Right.
2 weeks, 3 weeks. After that, it's just too much.
It's too much.
And so I said, "Nah, I don't like this." So we moved to Vegas, and Vegas has been really nice to me. Here, unfortunately, I got divorced with this girl, and so I started doing all kinds of jobs. I started as a bus person. Now it's called Silverton. At that time, it was the Boomtown.
Right. So you were at the Boomtown before Silverton, right? And you came down from Reno. So that was your first Vegas job?
My first Vegas job.
And what did you do there?
I was a bus person.
A bus person
in the restaurant.
Okay.
And I was I think I was very blessed that my first job, because in Reno I didn't learn any English because I was working with Hispanic people all the time.
Right. So you weren't
it's
getting a
always
chance.
Spanish.
You weren't practicing your English.
Here in Vegas, there were 2 people only in the restaurant that speak Spanish.
In Boomtown.
In Boomtown.
Only 2 people.
Only 2. Me and another guy.
So now you're forced to speak.
So now I'm forced to
You're
speak.
forced to speak English.
And I've been very blessed also because I haven't seen racism like people talk about.
Right.
To me, people's always been very nice to me.
Right.
And they're willing to help me. I don't speak the right English, but when I talk to somebody, they try to help me out to say it the right way.
So they're helpful.
They're helpful. To me, they're very
helpful.
nice.
Yeah.
And at that time, the manager, one of the words, it was so busy that day. One of the tables, they called me, they asked for something that I could not understand what it was. So I went and talked to my waitress and said, they need you on that table. So she goes there, and because we were so busy, she got a little mad, and she went and talked to the manager.
Right.
And the manager grabbed me by the hand, took me to the back of the restaurant, and showed me what the people wanted. They wanted the Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah.
I could not understand the Worcestershire, and I didn't even know what the hell that was. So he took me by the hand to the back and said, "Oh shit, I'm in trouble now."
Right.
And he showed it to me, goes, Worcestershire, Worcestershire, Worcestershire. Now say it to me. He made me say it like 10 times.
Right.
Don't forget that again. So that's what people want. But I did not understand.
So he just basically took you to the side and said, "Hey, listen, here's how you pronounce it." He didn't get mad at you.
No.
He said, "I know you can't pronounce it right," and he just helped you out there, and then you were able to bring. So it sounds like you worked with a great group of people. Didn't hold anything against you.
Yeah.
The fact that you came from another country or anything like that.
I have never had any in these 30-some years that I've been in the U.S. I have never had any problem.
That's fantastic.
Or maybe also because somebody mentioned this to me once. Because it's your mentality, your attitude that you never take things the wrong way.
Right.
I said, when people come after me arguing for whatever reason and screaming at me or calling me names or whatever, it goes here and comes out this way and we're done.
That's it.
I never take it personal.
Right.
I say, you're going through a situation, screw you, we're done. And that's it.
I think it's a lot to do with your personality, because when I first met you a while ago, we would go to events together, and your personality is it's almost like a magnetizing personality. People want to get to know you, and the way you come across, is very, you're very professional, yet you're also very warm, if that's a good word to say. So it makes people, the experiences you've had, I think if people have found that from you when you were selling eyeglasses in Mexico. That's why you were so successful. So, I mean, that's an important thing. People don't realize that your personality and the way you present yourself to people and the way you're interested in people, because you have to have that interest in people, they feel that. And if you show that interest, of course, they're going to want to gravitate to you more. And that kind of makes you a successful person, not so much monetarily, but it makes you successful as a human being, that you can use that as part of your tool to become monetarily successful, and I think that's been a common thread with you, because you went from a bus person, then you went to...
So I went to bus person. I didn't like the restaurant business, respect all the people that work in the restaurant business, but to me it was a little bit too much. And I don't know if I can say those things in camera or not, but maybe not.
There's no holds barred here.
So
you can say whatever you want. You can even, whatever words you just come on. That's what this is all about.
So in the restaurant business, you see so many things that is just, how can people do this stuff?
Right.
And anyway, so I didn't like it. I did that for 6 or 8 months. And then I transferred to a change person. 30 years ago in the casinos, they got people working with coins.
Sure.
Changing the money to complete the slots.
Right.
So I changed to that department. It was more...
So you were the change person. You were the person that back in the day I would go to and say, I need coins for this machine.
Okay. And I will give you the change and all that. And I feel that one was more suited to my personality.
Right.
So I like to have fun. I like to joke with people. I like to, laugh and make them smile. And I'm very active.
Yeah.
So that was walking around the casino, changing the money and talking to people. And
helping them invest, because they're investing in the casino.
Yeah. And that's true. One of the girls, I remember this lady, she was already in there. 70s, maybe close to 80s. And she goes, I never win in Vegas. I always sometimes I break even, I lose a little money, but I never win anything big.
Right.
And I told her, I said, you know what? These are your lucky coins. It was quarters. These are your lucky coins. You're going to win with this. And she hit a jackpot for $5,000.
$5,000.
She was all excited. Great. She goes, you were right. It was my lucky coins. And she gave me $500 tip.
Wow.
Said,
that's
so
amazing.
Nice. And
again, that personality. Again, that personality.
And 30 years ago, it was pretty good money, huh?
Right.
And she moved from the quarter machines to the dollar. And she goes, give me the lucky dollars. And I remember to be carrying this, pushing this little car with all the coins. And I said, I got the special ones for you. And I reached all the way to I moved cans of coins to get the ones on the bottom. And I told her, these are the ones. I give it to her, and she hit a jackpot for $20,000. She gave me $1,000 tip.
That's incredible.
And then she left. She came back like a month or 2 months later. She didn't win anymore.
See, that's an example of success. I mean, you did something outside the box. You made someone feel special, right? Now, you don't know if that money's going to hit or not. But the fact that you made somebody feel special, the return was that huge tip, that $400, that $1,000 tip that you would not have made before had you just changed her money and walked away. But you made it something special for that person, and they went and got themselves, and they hit. And, that's the key. You're making somebody feel special because you're making them feel special. And now when they do something special, they want to share that reward. And not everybody does that. But you know what? It's a numbers game. The more people you do that with.
Exactly. Like everything else in life is numbers game. And because there was this other guy, nice guy too, but, very rough.
Right.
And I said, hey, good luck, sir. Hope you make the money. He hit the jackpot for, was close to $100,000. And he only gave me $50 tip.
Only a $50 tip.
That's it.
But you know what? He still gave you something.
But still gave me something.
It's still sizable for that time. I mean, for that year, $50. Yeah.
So it was good. So so I moved from change person, and then I see one of the dealers.
Right.
She's dealing blackjack, talking to people, laughing, having fun. And I said, let's maybe a change to that, I said, that kind of.
So you wanted to be a dealer at that point. You're like, what?
At that point, I said, I'm going to learn. So I wait for her to go on a break, and I talk to her. I say, how hard it is to get a job in the
right.
I can transfer from change person to dealer. And she goes, well, you need to learn. I said, well, I'm willing to learn. So I use my personality again. And I start going after her.
Right.
She became my girlfriend. and she teach me how to deal.
That's great.
We worked together for about a year or so, and she teach me how, and I started looking for a job. And I went to here in Vegas at that time. All downtown was for the new people.
So downtown was
all the strip, all Fremont. If you were a new dealer, that was the place to go and apply.
So the new dealers went down to Fremont, and then the people who had experience were mostly on the strip. Yeah, which is where all the big casinos are. Right?
So everybody but I don't know if I'm the only one, but I believe I'm the only one that did not get hired there. I went to every casino, I apply, I tried to managers and everything. Did not hire.
No go.
So I was kind of not depressed, but a little down because
you feel a little defeated.
Nobody hired me. Said shit, nobody wants me there.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm driving to my house. I used to live in Henderson, in Green Valley at that time, and I'm driving down the strip, and where the Mandalay Bay is right now, there was a small casino called Hacienda.
The old Hacienda.
Hacienda.
Where the Mandalay Bay is now.
The Mandalay is now. So it was like 1 o'clock. I haven't eaten. I'm going to go eat in there. When I walk in there, I see the tables and all that. I said, I'm going to try again. There was an old guy coming in from the pits, and I said, you know what? My name is David Mendez, and I'm looking for a job. I'm wondering if you have an opening.
Might as well just ask, right? I mean.
And he just looked at me, didn't say nothing for 30 seconds or so, and I feel a little uncomfortable, but he was, wait for me right here. And he left. So I'm waiting. 20 minutes later, I asked again, and I said, this old guy that was here, I didn't know who he was. But this old guy that was coming out, he said he's going to give me an application for a job, but, I'm waiting for 20 minutes. And the floor person says, well, if he told you to wait, he's coming. So you just wait. He show up, we talk, and then he says, go upstairs, fill out the application, tell them that I send you.
Right.
Fill the application and come back. I did all that.
Like, no problem, yeah.
And then he asked me, says, my birthday was the following week. And he goes, what are you going to be doing on your birthday? I said, well, I'm going to be working for you if you give me the job. And he goes,
plant that seed, right? Yeah. I'm going to be working for you.
You give me that. He goes, okay, I like that.
You're going to hire me.
So he goes, you're hired. I went to all the drug tests and everything at that time, all the paperwork. And 2 days later, I was working there.
So 2 days later, you had the job and you were a dealer.
Yeah, I was dealer. Blackjack dealer.
So bus person, actually landscaping, the bus person to a change dealer, changing out money for people to now you're dealing.
And now I'm dealing.
Amazing.
And at that time, I was 25, maybe 26. And this is another crazy story that I didn't tell you last time. So at that time, I like to dance. I love dancing. So I was going out places, dance and all that stuff.
Right.
Meeting a lot of people. Everywhere I go, I make friends because I love talking to people. So we went there and I was dancing. And I don't know if you know, but people in Mexico City, we dance cumbias with the loops, going around with the girls.
Right, yeah.
So I think I can dance very good. So I met this girl. She saw me how I dance, and she goes, I want you to teach me. I don't know how. I said, okay. I said, come over. Let's try. And she got the rhythms. It was very easy. She picked up right away.
Right.
And then she told me, I like you. I love your personality. I love the way you look. And we're talking, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And 40 pounds ago too. So at that time I was a little rib, not too much muscle, but rib and all that. I look good, I believe. And he goes, I want you to work for me. I said, what do you have? What do you do?
Wow.
And she goes, I just open a bar and I want something different in Vegas. Everywhere you go, the bar, you got the waitress, the woman, the female.
Sure, yeah.
She goes, I wanted to do male. But the uniform is only a bow tie and a tie pants, jeans, tie, and a bow tie. That's the uniform.
That was the uniform, huh?
And I say, no.
There's only so many things you're gonna do.
And
you're working your way up now. You have
she goes, you're gonna make a lot of money. So she planted that seed.
Sure. Yeah.
And I got a curiosity. I said, all week I was thinking about it. I said, shit, I'm gonna go see the place. Because I need another place.
The curiosity's there.
So I walk into the place. I invite a couple of friends and so we walk into the place. And small bar, but very nice place. A lot of people. And I walk in there with my friends and I asked for her. She came to me and goes, David, I need you today. I said, what do you mean? I come here to have fun and look at the place and that's it. Dance, that's it.
Right.
She goes, no, I'm short 2 guys today and I want you to work today. I said, So one of my friends, I mentioned to her the job, right? And she goes, do it. You're really crazy. You don't care. So go do it.
So it's like being a Hooters girl, but now you're like a Hooters guy.
Yeah. So I said, let me have a drink and let me think about it, right? So I'm having a drink and my friend keeps pushing me and he goes, I need you. He was really busy.
Right.
I said, okay. I said, I don't have tight pants, but and like I said, I was a little ripped at that time. And she goes, I had your uniform in the back.
So she had
only the
pants
bow
for you.
tie. No, no pants. I said, okay, so I take out my shirt, I put the bow tie, and I came out. I never wore like that. I didn't know when I was a bus person. That's the only experience I had serving like that. So I had to carry the tray with my two hands, a small tray with the drinks, and I was going there. But all the girls that were crazy, and they would tip me that night.
Oh, that's
because the girl says, I want you to be spicy. I want you to
sure
that I can do it. I got no problem with that. So do a little moves, I get the drinks and I dance a little bit and all that.
Right.
And they were going crazy. They would tip me. That night I make close to $600 in about 5 hours.
$600 in 5 hours.
Yeah. And I said, this is good. And I said, I can only work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And she was perfect. 3 days. So I went, I did almost 2 years.
So you did that for 2 years while you were dealing?
Yeah.
So you were dealing and making money as basically a waiter.
Yeah.
A Chippendales waiter.
Chippendale kind of, yeah. and the customers there at that time, the other guys, we were 4 guys working in that place. And the other guys, they were making money. They were also having fun, all that. There was one guy that was, big muscles.
Right.
This guy was huge. But he was very shy to dance, to make moves.
Right.
Not me. I didn't have those big muscles. I was Mark.
You had to rely on the moves.
I got there. I did my moves, and I talked to them, and I talked to the girls. They tell me you talk very sensual and makes me hot.
Right.
So when someone tell me that, I will go more because I know I was gonna get more tips.
Right.
So it was a really good. I was working on dealing 10 to 6 in the morning. So at 6 o'clock, I would go to that place and I would sleep in my car for a couple hours and then start working. So I was getting up at 3, 4, 5 in the morning sometimes.
Wow. And you were driven and motivated. And you were making money.
And I was alone at the time. So I got nobody waiting for me at home. So I said, I work and I have a lot of fun.
Wow.
From making very good money. 2 years, it was a little bit more than 2 years. And it was perfect. It was really good part-time job. I make really good money.
Right.
One time they put me into, the movie, the Coyote Ugly. They jump on top of the bar and they start dancing. They put me there. The girls, the customers, hey, go up there and dance. I'm not going to go up there and dance, I said, yes. And one girl goes, you go up there and dance. You get a $300 tip from me. Plus all my girls are going to give you tips.
Reminds me of the scene from the movie Desperado with Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
And he jumps up on the bar.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the picture I got in my head.
So yeah, I went up there and started making my moves and made pretty good money.
Wow, that's great.
And have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So it was really good until one time one guy he went there with a girlfriend.
Right.
Or fiance at that time and some friends. And the fiance got really crazy with me.
Oh.
She got drunk. She started touching me.
Yeah.
And the guy got angry. He goes, don't come to my table no more.
So
I told the manager, I said, that guy got a problem with me. So we switched with the other guy.
Right.
So this guy, the girl started going crazy with another guy that was in the next table. And she was already drunk. And they started into a fight. The boyfriend was already angry with me.
No, I bet.
And then the other guy also got involved in that.
Yeah.
So they start fighting. So they kicked them out and said, you guys got to leave. And one of those guys outside pulled out a gun and shoot the other guy.
No.
And that's what closed the place.
Whoa.
Yeah, because of that. And so that was the end of my career as a dancer.
Whoa. It is like the movie Desperado.
It is.
No. Wow.
So
that's the first time you've told me that one.
So yeah. So doing glasses.
That's
doing glasses and then landscaping, bars person, change person, dealer, dancer. And then after that, it's okay. Focus on the
that was enough. That go back to the dealing only, right?
Dealing only.
That's it. A little too much excitement.
And then at that time, then I moved to another casino, and in there they liked me, and for whatever reason, I was very lucky for the casino.
Right.
Not for the dealers.
No, of course not.
The dealers will get mad at me because I get to the table and I take all the money. I said, you got to lose. I said, show me how to lose.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to lose.
Right.
I'm just dealing the cards and that's how it happens.
Wow.
Just imagine this. At that time, there was a single deck. You hold it.
Right.
I'm dealing. And there was this guy. He was a trucker. He will come here and spend 3-4 days in the casino. He will make very good money all the time. And I remember him really good because he got a big bracelet with the name in diamonds. David. His name was David.
Same as you, yeah.
And very nice guy. He tipped really good, but he could never win with me. One time I came to the casino, he was winning over $50,000. And I came in, and in 3 hours, I took all the $50,000 back. And he goes, "That's nuts.
You were not his lucky charm.
You're so hard for the casino, and it's natural on you." I said, "Well, I wish I can lose because I made more money.
Right.
The dealers are getting mad at me because I came in and take all the money." I said, "But I said, show me how to lose.
Right.
I don't know how to do it." And so when I was in this other casino, they like that. Every game that I was winning, they put me to work in there so I can take the money back. Even the dice. At that time, I did not know dice.
So this was after the Hacienda.
After the Hacienda.
And which casino was that? You're allowed to tell me?
That was the Stratosphere.
The Stratosphere.
Yeah.
Okay.
I opened that casino too. So one time I came in and the dice table was losing a lot of money. And the manager saw me, goes, "Come over here." I said, "I don't know dice." He goes, "I don't care. You just go sit in the table." And he got me sitting down there watching the game for like 20 minutes or so. And then he calls me. This guy was very superstitious. He calls me. He goes, "You're going to change the dice." He showed me how to change the dice. He goes, "But first, rub it in your hands." Okay, so I got the dice. I'm going like this. And I'm like, this is crazy.
This is silly, right?
Yeah. I mean, this guy, he did so many crazy things.
Why not? Whatever superstitions are.
One time, one of the tables was losing a lot of money. He walked behind the players with a salt shaker, throwing salt.
Really?
Yeah. And so anyway, so I'm changing that. He showed me how to do the dice. So I got the dice in my hands. I go sit down on the table again, and I wait for the moment to change the dice.
Right.
I change it, and the table started winning. Just like that.
That was it.
Yeah. And so because of that, the dealers did not like me that much. I said, "Well, you show me how to do it, and I do it. I want to make money too." But the manager see that I get along with all the dealers, and I was good with the customers and all that.
Right.
So they made me a supervisor.
Oh, that's good.
And so I became a supervisor,
right?
And I moved all the way up to be number 3 in the shift. So I was in the casino business for 20 years.
20 years.
20 years I did all that. And
that was the rest of the time was always at the Stratosphere?
No, I moved from the Stratosphere. I went to the Mirage, I believe, or Treasure Island, one of those, the two.
Right.
Because the first I worked in one, and then I worked in the other one. And then I went to New York. I worked there for a couple of years.
Wow, okay.
The Luxor also, I did that one.
So you've been in quite a few casinos.
I went in a few ones.
Wow.
The last one, it was at the Westgate now.
The Westgate,
used to be the Hilton.
Used to be the Hilton, yeah.
And that was my last
casino. I used
casino.
to love that place.
Yeah,
I love the Hilton.
Really good.
Yeah.
The gaming industry, it was a lot of fun before 2008. After 2008, things start changing.
Yeah.
Corporations start taking over the operations and everything, and they just make it.
So it was less ownership owned now. Now it was more corporate owned, stockholder owned. So what happens is you lose that, how do you say it? You lose that one-on-one relationship that you have when you have an owner of a casino, like Michael Gahn with the South Point.
Mm-hmm.
He's still there. He's a hands-on owner. There are no more hands-on owners anymore. Now it's just corporations, and they put people in charge, and those people are sitting there being counters, and they're just looking to see what the returns are. How can we get more money out of people and take less money out of our own pockets?
Because of it's a long time ago, my English is not that good, so I could not find the words how to say it. But before, the parking lot was free. Every casino you go, it was free.
Oh yeah, parking was free. Yeah,
and you go in the tables and you lose $100. I say, "Give me a buffet."
Yeah,
you write the ticket, give them buffet for 1 or 2, and that's it. The customer is happy, casino is happy.
Sure,
everything was good.
Yeah.
And when they started changing, they say, "Now we're going to charge for parking." I say, "We're going to lose a lot of people." First, it was the vouchers to eat it.
Right.
They said, "Now you cannot give it anymore." They took that away. Now you have to go to the computer, and you basically have to lose $1,000 to get one buffet, a $10 buffet.
But yeah, I mean, you can't even stay. I mean, there's no comp for a hotel. I mean, it used to be comps for hotels. My brother-in-law would stay at a hotel. He would get 5 nights. Now he'd be lucky if he gets a dinner.
Yeah, they changed. So when that started changing, I said, this is not good. So we had the management, we had the tag, and they said, well, we're gonna try it, we're gonna see.
Right.
And they see that they were losing a lot of business as it was getting slower. And we got another meeting, and they said, we're gonna go back to before. Here's the vouchers. Everybody has a book for vouchers, to go eat, but don't just give it away. Make sure that they play some money. And I said, yeah, we gotta give them. I could not find the words, and I said, we gotta give them the pico. Why you lose when you give them a pico?
Right.
Lose $100, you get $10 buffet. We don't lose nothing. I say, and he's happy. He's gonna come back again.
Sure.
And he's gonna come back with more friends. So so we did it for a couple of years, and then corporate said, we had to go back to the way it was. Everything goes in the computers. You have to put it there. You gotta earn points, and like I said, you gotta lose $1,000 to get one $10 buffet.
So 2008 was the changing point.
The 2008 that's when the whole thing. It changed. It was before. It was a lot of fun.
Right.
A lot of fun to work in the casino. And then after that, he started going down here. It's more stress, less fun.
Right.
And
because now you're working for a corporation. You're not working for a person or people that you see, because these corporate people aren't coming around. You don't know who they are.
Right.
You can't touch and feel them. You can't have a conversation with them. And they're not vested and they're not interested. They just want to know that what's the bottom line. They don't care who the workers are. They don't care who the people are coming in, the customers. They just care about the bottom line. So they're not going to spend time on the floor or spend time in the restaurants or spend time with the shows. They just want to know what's the bottom line.
People from New Jersey that work in the casinos, and they say, I want you to work with me. I said, well, I don't know, New Jersey,
so they want you to go out there to the casinos in New Jersey. Huh? Okay.
And also I met the owner of a casino in Vancouver.
Right.
And he goes, you ever been in Canada? I said, no. You should come over. I think you'll be really good for my casino. I will hire you as the casino manager. Your personality, your work ethic, and how you do everything is just unbelievable. I never seen anybody work like that. And you're running all the tables. At that time I was watching 6 games, and it was busy. And I'm going through all the 6 games in a circle, doing my work. And he goes, I love the way you work. You should come to work with me. He goes, I help you because you're a U.S. citizen. The Canadian papers will be very easy. I will help you get it, and you will be more happy with that.
So what made you not do that?
First, at that time I already got family here. I got my wife and my son.
Right.
So that one was one of the things that kind of stopped me, and also was more far from Mexico.
Okay. Yeah.
So
obviously Vegas being a lot closer.
4 hours I'm in Mexico already with my parents.
Right.
Going to Vancouver, it was a little more hard. And sometimes you're afraid to changes. Sometimes you say, well, I'm over here, comfortable, making good money.
Yeah, I mean, and
go to a
you're
new
definitely
country,
definitely not afraid to change, because you went from Mexico City, you went to Reno, then came down to Las Vegas, and then you get offers to go to New Jersey, and you go to Vancouver. I mean, look at and I have to say that in talking to you, and in my personal summary is you have the drive not just to be stagnant, because you could have stayed in one job or another job. You could have stayed in the next job, but you didn't. You kept challenging yourself. You kept looking for other ways to improve your financial situation, as well as, what is it that makes me happy? And then you even did something like dancing.
Yeah, that was,
which is fun, bucket list maybe for some people, but you did the dance, and that puts you outside of your comfort zone, right? So now you're doing things and everything, the common denominator that I've gotten from you so far is that your personality is what gets people to buy into you.
Mm-hmm.
They're not looking at David from Mexico or David from Nevada or David from Los Angeles. They're saying, I want this person to come with me to Vancouver, come with me to New Jersey, wherever it may be, because his personality and that magnetism that he has is going to bring in a better customer base for me. It's going to make my job better. So that's great. I mean, you hear things like that. That's
so it was pretty good. It's been exciting 30 years doing all those jobs. And
so let's bring up the fun thing now. So you have told me that you got 40 speeding tickets since you've been in Las Vegas. Is that right? 40.
Yeah, something like that. It's close to 40 or so. But the crazy part is
so you like to drive fast.
I love to drive fast. I not like it, you just love it. But
there's any cops listening to this podcast
I know,
now.
No. Yeah, but don't remember my name.
He doesn't drive a car.
So I learned to drive when I was in Mexico City.
Okay.
12 years old. My uncle got a pickup truck, and he will make swimsuits.
Okay.
And we go to these towns. They have where the hot water comes from the earth. I don't know how you call those places, but it's the hot water coming out.
Okay.
It's natural hot water.
Okay.
Mexico, we call it balneario. So here, what's the name? There's few in here, but it forms lakes, rivers, because all the hot water is coming from the earth.
Right.
So he will go there and sell all those swimsuits. Yeah, the whole family. Yeah, like $10, I think, and the wife and cousins, everybody making swimsuits.
Just making swimsuits.
And he goes, why don't you come with me on your vacation? And 12 years old, I said, okay, I got nothing to do 2 months, so let's go. And he goes, you know how to do it? I said, I will learn how to do it. I've never been afraid to try things, right? I said, I learned right now. And he gave me the keys, and I start driving in where I live.
Right.
But I was so small at that time. I grew up, I stretched when I was 15, but at 12, I was very small and I could not reach the pedals. And I came out, I said, I cannot help you. I cannot reach.
Would
And
they put blocks on them?
so they put two pillows behind me, so I will be closer.
So you drive with the
and,
steering
and
wheel?
I was able to drive, and it was a stick shift.
Yeah, because now you're doing a clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did that for 3 years with
3
him.
years.
Every summer I was out
You
with
just
him.
drive around.
So I learned to drive in Mexico City. So driving here, it was just piece of cake, right? But because I always like speeding.
I've seen videos of Mexico City of driving.
Yeah. I got friends that have been over there and they say, how can you driving? It's crazy. Anyway, so I remember I got my papers and then I got my license. First time in my whole life, because Mexico already had license.
Right.
And I always drive like that. And I got my license. And 5 days later, I'm driving brand new truck and there's an old sedan next to me. We're going 15 miles over the limit.
50 miles? 15 miles.
1.5. Yeah.
Okay.
And the police show up. Oh, shit. Anyway, and he got behind me. So I stopped and the other guy just left.
Right.
I say, that's not right. And the other guy, it's an old sedan car with we call it the classic American blonde hair and all that. I say, why did you let the other guy go? At that time, my English was very little. And I said, why did you let the other guy go? And he goes, we stop one at a time. If you don't like it, there's your court day. You show up with the judge and you explain to him. Right. I said, okay. So at that time, I was a bus person. And one of the waitresses was starting to be a lawyer. So I wait for the other guy to come to work with me.
Sure.
And so he can help me translate to her what happened. And she goes, David, don't worry about it. Show up to court, explain the judge what happened. They will send you to the school, driving school. They put your ticket in half and you're done. And your license will be free.
Yeah.
I said, okay. And I remember showing up there and at 8 in the morning, I asked for a translator and I had to wait for the whole day because I needed a translator. Wow. So I was in court sitting, listening to all these, bad people, the killers, rapists, listening to the whole thing. And I'm like, I said, what the hell is it? So the guy showed up finally at 4 o'clock. So then they call my name. I stand up and I'm telling the translator what happened. And at the same time, he's translating to the judge the whole thing.
Right.
And then with my little English that I got at the time, and I thank God I got lucky, I guess, I understood something that he said that I did not say. I don't know, the guy wanted to go home and finish the case fast or something.
Right.
And I said, I didn't say that. I told the translator, I said, I didn't say that. He looked at me surprised that I understood what he says.
Right.
And the judge looked at me, he goes, what happened? I said, I did not say that. And the judge told the translator, sit down. He goes, now you explain to me what happened. I'm like, oh, now how do I do it? I mean, I don't know. And so in between English, Spanglish, Spanish, and signals, I explained to him, right? Yeah. So I explained to him, and then he got quiet. You could hear a pin drop. Really quiet guy inside the court. And he started laughing. So what do I do? So I start laughing too. He's cracking up. We're laughing both.
Well, when in Rome, right?
And then he goes, I did not understand anything that you said, but I like it that you try to defend yourself. He goes, go to my assistant. She speaks Spanish. She's going to tell you what to do. She's going to explain the process.
Right.
He goes, but I like that. And from then I say, I will never ask for help anymore. Because if it's going to be screwed up, I can screw up by myself really easy and for free, And so that's how I say. At that point, that's when I say I had to learn English. And I had to do it fast.
Sure.
So I remember when I was in Reno, I met a girl that was specialist in language. I forgot what was the title. But she was fluent in 5 languages.
Oh, okay. So she...
And she was teaching and she was fluent in 5 languages. And she told me, David, for you to learn English, first, you will never speak it the right way because you were not born here.
Right.
So you're always going to have issues when you...
Well, you are. I mean, no matter where you go, if I were to go to Italy or France, I'm not born there. I'm not going to sound exactly like them no matter how hard I try.
Yeah. So she goes, but, to be able to have a conversation on that, that's what I want.
Yeah.
And it was, make sure your ear has to get used to the accent before you can start talking and understanding. And she goes, in your house, TV in English, and don't put the letters on the bottom. So this is a tip for everybody that wants to learn a language.
Right.
Your TV in English, don't put the letters so you don't understand because your brain will go to the letters and you're not paying attention. And then your car, the music in English. And I said, okay.
So it's basically immersion. You're immersing yourself into the English language at that time in order for you to better learn it. So
so it's okay. So I did all that. And also I like to read a lot.
Yeah.
And so it took me 10, 11 months. I was able to have a conversation with people.
Wow.
And but also not only the TV and the radio. I was going out with American friends. Work after work, some of them they will go to the bar. I will go to the bar with them.
So you're hanging out with them.
So
you're
I
picking up
was
the
in the
language
English all the time,
and the slang terms that are used.
that's-
And I mean, no one speaks everything proper,
Yeah.
so they're going to have their version of it.
Yeah.
Just like in Mexico, when I was learning to speak Spanish, if you said exactly the way you're supposed to, when I went down to Mexico and tried to speak that way, they looked at me like, why are you talking like that? Nobody talks like that.
Exactly.
And then they teach you the slang version or the more the comfortable version of speaking. But they appreciate the fact that I learned parts of what, the language is so I can get by. But I can understand where you're coming from when it comes down to you learning English. You hang out with people that are going to give you that more of a street version of the language as opposed to textbook.
Yeah. Exactly. So it was interesting and I said, I don't care, if people laugh, I laugh with them.
Yeah.
When I was at the bar with all these guys, they were laughing and all that, and I would laugh too, just by listening to them laughing. And one guy goes, do you know what we're talking about? Why we laughing? I say, I have no idea, but it sounds fun.
You just join in.
It sounds fun.
That's your personality, though. I mean, you like to laugh, you like to have a good time, But the reason why I brought up those 40 tickets is that and you're speeding, that you were like doing things with racing cars at one time. Another area that you went into that you just had like a bit of an itch. To try.
So at that time, the speedway was very small, and on Fridays you
at the Las Vegas Speedway.
The Las Vegas Speedway.
Yes.
So you will go there, pay $20. I don't know if he was a mechanic or not, but the guy will open the hood, look at the car, look at the tires.
Right.
He says, "Okay, you good."
So he would inspect the car first to make sure you could get on the track. Yeah. And what car did you bring on the track at that time?
At that time, it was a Firebird.
A Firebird. Beautiful. Okay.
And so I got there, pay me my $20. You got 3 laps in the speedway,
right?
And then you get out. And then sometimes it was not too many cars. You were able to go back again and pay another $20 for another 3 laps.
2 laps, okay.
And so I like that. I like the speeding. It was really good. And so when I was doing that, I learned that there's like the NASCAR, the minors of NASCAR. It's only like 3-4 states that they go racing,
right?
And so I started going to those races, used to watch, and I was able to make friends with some of the people there. They invite me into the pit.
That's great.
And I'm looking all the work that they're doing. And one day, one of the guys says, you like racing? I said, I love racing. I would love to get in one of those cars. And he goes, come back next time, and I'm going to give you a try.
So he let you get inside a NASCAR, like a real race car.
Yeah, so I came back, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks later. I went back in there on Thursday. He called me and goes, we're going to be there on Thursday. I want you to be there on Thursday. I said, I'll be there. I remember I even called sick at work that day. So I wanted to try one of those cars. And I got in, and I went around, and he goes, I like you. Huh? You're not afraid to step on that thing and push it.
Right.
And so I went there on their practice a few times until one day they say, you know what? Would you like to race? Our driver got sick, and would you like to try it? I see you driving. I know you can drive.
Wow.
And you want to try it? And I said, yeah. So I got my suit on, and I went into the race and the practice and all that. And I raced. That's my only race that I got.
Right.
I get the second place, so it wasn't too bad. And the fastest that I've been to is 187 miles an hour.
187.
I love it. That feeling in there going that fast.
That explains the 40 tickets.
Yes, that explains
the 40 tickets.
That. Yeah. And it was
so you got to come in second place in like basically the minor leagues of NASCAR.
The minor leagues.
And so what did you do after that? Did you not want to race anymore? What happened?
They offered me a job. I don't know if you can call it a job, but they offered me a job.
An opportunity. They offered you the opportunity, yeah.
And I say, I want to try, but they told me, here we get no pay. So we get sponsors. All the money that we get for the race, first it goes to the car and all the mechanical stuff that we need.
Right.
And then if there's money left, that's for us.
So basically the sponsorship would come in. People don't understand sometimes when you're at that level, all that money, let's say from, a restaurant and a bar, they put in $1,000. Well, whatever it costs to fix that car up costs $500. That remaining $500 gets split amongst the driver and the crew.
Yes.
And sometimes you get no money.
Sometimes, so they say, sometimes there's no money.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really good money. So it all depends.
Yeah.
He goes, but by you doing this, he told me, he goes, you are very good in this. It's natural for you, the speed. You're not afraid to push the car. So you will be really good. He goes, sometimes we got people from NASCAR come over here and look at our drivers.
Right.
And he goes, I really believe you have a chance to be a NASCAR driver.
Wow.
And that was just
That's
like,
flattering.
that was like a dream come true, you know.
That is,
that
sure.
would be really good. But at that time, I got some responsibilities.
You got to put
I
food on
cannot
the
be
table.
driving, you know, with you guys and not making any money, you know. I need to work.
Yeah.
And I said, if I could find a job that I could do remotely, that would be perfect. But at that time, there was no internet, none of this stuff right now. And I said, so I cannot do it. And sometimes when I think about it, I don't regret not taking the chance, but it just made me wonder how far I will be if I take the chance.
Well, yeah,
I mean, NASCAR driver.
yeah, I mean, there's opportunities that come along in life, right? And we all pass up on some of them. And sometimes we have a gut instinct about not doing it. Sometimes we do our homework on it, and it doesn't make sense. But yeah, what if you took this? What if you took that? But we wouldn't be where we are now if we didn't pass up on those things.
I learned one of my mentors now in the business that I have. He said one time, you know, you are where God wants you to be right now.
Yeah.
He goes, and he's also likes to drive fast and all that, like me. And because when I get behind a slow car, I just get desperate, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Like I say, should move to the other side, you know. Let me go. And he says that he was he lives in Los Angeles or used to live in Los Angeles. And he goes, one time I was going fast with a wife, and this slow car get in front of me, so I could not pass. And then all the cars slowed down in front of me, and there was a major accident. Because if this slow car did not get in front of me, I would probably be in that accident. So he says, you know, you are what God wants you to be.
Right.
At the right place, at the right moment, where you have to be there. So it's okay. So maybe that's the way it is. You know, that's why we take chances. Sometimes we don't take it because our God tells us, you know, this is not for you.
It's where we're being guided to.
Yeah.
And we know, you know, we have that conversation within ourselves, you know, and yeah, there are people that influence us, friends, family, people that come around us or business associates that say, hey, I wouldn't take this, I wouldn't do that. And we take that under advisement, and that's all people should do. I mean, I don't think anybody should take anything for gospel, but when you have, like you said, this is where God wanted me to be or what he wants us to do. I mean, you take all that collectively with all the other information you get from people and you make those decisions. And still, sometimes those aren't the right decision. But at the end of the day, you are where you're supposed to be. You are. I mean, there's a reason why we're on a path. We don't take certain paths, and we can look at hindsight and say, if I had taken that one, I'd be better off. You don't know that for sure. You know, only because we know when people say that, they say that I should have taken the other path when the current path they're on gets a little bit rough. And then they go, oh, I should have gone the other path. Because the rough path, they don't realize it smooths out at some point. If you put the work in, the determination, and you ride it out, you ride out that rough path, eventually, hopefully, if you do the right things, it'll smooth out. But we always revert back to, if I had taken the other path, and then we take our eye off the rough path. And then we get confused, and then we have regrets, and then we get a little, you know, taken back, and some people get depressed over it.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, you'd like to think, where would I be if I had taken the path of driving? You could be broke, right? You could be doing very well. You could have gotten into NASCAR. We'll never know.
We'll never know, yeah.
But the fact is you tried it, and you had a great reception from
the
it.
moment.
You got second place in a race. That itself is a great validation. You validated yourself, and you still validate yourself by speeding.
Yes. I try not to, you know, but these.
So after all this casino stuff that you did and that whole path, you have your own business.
Yeah. So we were talking earlier, you know, how we get a failure, success, and all that. If you don't take chances and you don't fail, you will never know what success is.
Exactly.
You know, and so we all gotta go through all that. Even if you our own personal lives, you know, you take chances.
Oh, absolutely.
And then you say, oh shit, it did not work, or it worked, and we
Right.
did good. But if you don't try, you will never know. And then, to me, I think that will be the biggest regret in your life when you're old and say, shit, why didn't I try this business? Why didn't I do this way? You know, I could have done this way, but I didn't try it. But you know, that's life, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the game, and we gotta play it the way it gets dealt to us, and we try to do the best that we can.
Right.
So after doing all that, you know, and in I think that was 2016, 17, somewhere around there. I told you before 2008, the casino was a lot of fun.
Right.
After 2008, things are changing, and it's a lot more stress. So one time I'm coming from Mexico, and Also, we're not younger anymore.
Yeah.
So I went to Mexico driving. Many times I went to Mexico driving from here.
Okay.
So this time we're coming from Mexico with the family and some friends, and it was a 33-hour drive.
Wow.
On those 33 hours, somebody else will drive, and I think I sleep maybe 4 hours on those 33.
Right. So you were awake most of the time. Yeah.
So I remember we got home and like around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at midnight, and I went to bed. 4 in the morning, I woke up with a terrible chest pain.
Right.
Really bad. And what the hell? So we called the ambulance. I went to the doctor. I spent a week at the doctor. By that time, I was already working in this company.
Right.
And I won a trip to Cancun. 5 days, everything paid. And so I was planning on that trip, right?
Right.
So I got this heart pain, and I was in the hospital for 4 days, I believe, almost a week. And then after that, they say, it's no heart attack. We thought it was a heart attack.
That's great news, yeah.
And they say it's no heart attack, but your heart is very, very tired. You have a lot of stress. So he goes, tell me your day. Well, but first, when the hospitals, you don't sleep. They don't let you sleep. You're sleeping and somebody comes to check or something. So that night, it was like that. And then finally, I fall asleep really hard. And at 6:30 in the morning, I woke up and I'm surrounded with white ropes. All the students and the doctor in front of me.
Right.
And all around was the students. Right? And they had a white robe. And I woke up, most of them they were women. I woke up and said, I'm seeing angels. Am I dead or am I alive? And the doctor started laughing, all laughing, all that. And they said, well, that's nice. You got humor. You're just waking up. I said, well, you got to laugh.
Right.
You got to laugh. And he goes, no heart attack. He said, it's good. But your heart is very stressed out. It's very tired.
So you're just
tell me your story. What's your day like and how's your work? So I say, I work in the casino. At that time, I was working at nighttime.
Right.
And he goes, well, this is a wake-up call for you. Your heart is tired from all the stress. We've seen a raise in heart problems with the people that work in casinos.
Right.
And all the stress and all the crazy things in the casino. So your heart is tired. And at that time, I was 20 years already. And he goes, I think you need to change the job. So I remember going to Cancun 3 days later, I'm in Cancun. And I'm talking to the CEO of the company, and we're in the pool having drinks.
Right.
And they said, well, go home, check your numbers, and if you're making good money in this business, quit the casino.
Right.
Stay there. And that's why I started full time with this business, where now we're teaching people how money works. We're teaching people how, because in school we don't have any financial education. They don't teach you how to invest or how to do all these.
There's
all these
nothing
things.
like that now. Not
no how to balance your checkbook or anything, do budgets or anything like that. And so that's what we do. That's what I do. So I teach people how to do all that, how to plan for retirement, annuities, estate planning, because we have a big problem on all those areas.
So a lot of your clients that you're finding, obviously they're older, but you're trying to teach people, are young people starting to come around?
Yes, there's a lot of young people starting to come around because they're seeing. I have some of my clients that are in their 20s, early 20s.
But a lot of your clients are in their 20s.
I have some, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have some young clients and say, and I asked them, I say, why you want to do this? And they say, well, I see my parent, he's 50 and he's having some financial problems.
Right.
I don't want to be the same way when I'm in his age. So I want to start planning now because we teach them how to plan for all that.
Right.
And the younger that you start, the easiest that you can do some planning.
Right.
For retirement and everything. You have a lot more time for all that. So we have a lot of young clients, and we doing all these classes that we do for free, and all kinds of lives, all kinds of people that are and they work in the casinos and in the hotels, doing the beds in the mornings, waitresses, landscaping people that come take the classes, because everybody.
So you put these classes on, and where do you hold these classes at mostly?
My office.
Your office. Okay.
We do twice a week in the office, and then we do a one-on-one.
And so how many people are in the class generally?
It varies all the time, but we get some classes we have 5 people, and some we have 60.
Okay, so
the biggest one we got was 110 people, I think, once.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. So then you teach people the basics of handling their own money, whether it be for saving. What's the most basic thing you can tell people when it comes to handling their own money? What's the number one thing I want people to remember about handling their own money?
You got to learn how to do a budget.
Do a budget.
Budget is very important because you go spending money that you didn't even know where you're spending your money.
Right.
By the end of the month, you say, shit, where's all my money? I was not able to pay this bill and now I don't have no more money left. And so budget is very important. And the number one thing that I will say, and all the experts, they say the same thing, is pay yourself first.
Pay yourself first.
Always you get your check. If you can do 20%, it's good, and invest it. Now, before savings was good, now is you got to invest it. Find a way how to get money.
Invest it, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, even as little as a money market account, which I think they pay 4% because I have money market in 2 different accounts, but savings, you're not going to really make anything on it.
You're losing money on taxes and inflation.
Yeah.
So we teach them how to do a budget and pay yourself first, and then with whatever money you got left, pay your bills, and whatever you got left, then you go have fun.
That's the way. It's basically how you break it down. I mean, you pay yourself first, then you have your bills to pay, whatever's left over.
Yeah, go fun.
But you say take 20%.
20% would be ideal.
And take that aside.
Put it aside.
And forget about it. Put it somewhere.
Invest it somewhere.
Invest it and forget about it.
There is a lot of accounts that people don't know about it. You and me, we got normal life. All these big companies, Schwab, Scott, all these big investment companies, they never call you and say, hey, Scott, I didn't see no planning for yourself. What are you doing? They don't call. If you don't have $300,000, $400,000 in your bank, they don't even bother you.
Yeah, they don't want your money at that point. Yeah.
So that's what the people that we go after. People that don't have that much money, but with a small amount you can start.
See, that's great because you're taking. So, like you said, the bigger investment companies are going after the whales, the people who have 6 figures, 7 figures, even 8 figures of money that they can invest. But the people who have very little are forgotten about, and no one cares about that. So you're basically taking that market, that segment of society, and saying, hey, I don't care if you have $1 or $2,000. We're going to help you plan that $1 or $2,000. And then with the way you look at it is that return for making them your clients is that the volume of people adds up to you making yourself as a commission in your business because you're willing to take on multiple people. You're not just looking for that one person to make money off of, which is what a lot of other financial investors do, or financial planners or advisors or managers, whatever you want to call them. They're looking for the 1 or 2 whales that they can just sit back and just maneuver money from 2 people, where you're taking 30, 40, 100 people and saying, hey, let me help you manage your money. That's a lot of work, but you're hitting a segment of society that A, doesn't know how to do it. They're not educated sometimes enough to do it. Doesn't mean they're not educated. They're just not educated in financial aspects. And so therefore you're that guide. And the fact that you offer free courses for that gives people an incentive to come in and not feel obligated that you're ripping money out of their pocket for some reason. That's fantastic. I love the model. I love the model. It's a great model.
And we do this, and we tell people, the classes are free. We don't charge a penny to anybody.
It doesn't hurt.
Taking it.
It's just your time.
Spending an hour, 2 hours, you learn something good about money. And if you want to take advantage of the products or the programs that are out there, you do it. If not, at least you learn something about money.
That's it.
Can help you out down the life.
But they remember you. Because what happens is if they're not your client today, 5 months down the road, a year down the road, they're going to say, hey, I remember meeting this David Mendez guy. And David Mendez told me blah, blah, blah. And then they're going to call you up or look you up and say, hey, remember me? I was at your class. I need help. Or I came into a lot of money. I don't know what to do with it. And I don't want to lose it. I inherited it. I won lotto. I won a big gambling bet, whatever it may be, or I got a job at a huge raise, whatever it is. Everybody who gets, look at all these lotto winners. People win lotto. They most of them blow that money.
Yes.
Millions.
They don't know anything. They don't.
Millions of dollars. They spend it like it's $10 bill. And then they wonder after 6, 7 years, where did it all go?
I met a guy that he won a $0.3 million prize,
which is life-changing. $1.3 million.
And he blew it in 2 years.
How do you do that?
And I say,
that's not how you could. I could think of how to do that.
I say, how do you do that? $1.3 million in 2 years.
Right.
He goes, I thought we'll never run out of money, I buy expensive car and I start going expensive restaurants, trips, all this stuff, girls, alcohol, and
It's
that's
gone. It's gone. And as that's where it is. Sometimes money does not solve the equation. It doesn't. It doesn't solve it. What money does, it enables you to maybe get better educated at handling money. If people need to, if any advice I can give on money is that, I think you might believe this too, is if you come into something large enough, like $1.3 million, slow down, live like you've lived it yesterday. Don't change how you live today because of that money. Because if you slow down, it gives your brain time to absorb what has just happened. Now I have this. And by slowing down is, what do I need to do next?
Yeah. Funny you mentioned that. I'm also very involved in politics. I believe everybody has to get involved in politics because if you don't learn at least the basics, politics will get involved in your life and they will screw you up. So I'm working with this political organization and I met this lady.
Right.
We're working together. And when I introduced myself, I said, well, my name is David Mendez and I'm a financial professional. I help you with everything to plan for your life, for retirement, protection of life, annuities, all that stuff. After the meeting, she came to me and she goes, David, I'm so glad that I met you because I just found out yesterday that my grandma left me some money and I don't know what to do. And
wow,
and she goes, it's $300,000 that I got.
That's a lot of money.
And I don't know what to do. I'm going crazy trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell everybody because
because they'll want it. Everybody's going to want it.
I'm afraid they're going to start asking me for money.
It's where you first learn family members you never had before.
Yes. and she goes, so I don't know. And she goes, I just found out yesterday.
Right.
And today I met you. So God put me in front of you. And she goes, what do I say? First, relax, calm down.
That's it. Slow down.
Don't say nothing like you say. Don't mention anything.
Yeah.
And let's wait for the money. But in the meantime, let's get together. I'm gonna show you give you some ideas.
Right.
And then we'll see from there. I show you what's out there, what the plans are. There is some amazing plans for everybody to take advantage of.
Right.
But we're not educated. We don't know. Nobody tells you about it.
No.
And when I tell people, see, get the classes, they just say, how much you charge for the class? I say, nothing. It's free.
Yeah.
I say, I show you what is out there. And if you decide then these amazing plans from these companies, I put you in contact with the company and we made the plan and the company will pay me.
That's
so
it.
You don't pay nothing.
Yeah.
And the company will pay me and they pay me really good. So I said, let's get this. So I told these girls, relax, breathe.
That's it.
Don't stress out anymore. Let's wait for the money. In the meantime, let's sit down. I show you what's out there and then we go from there.
There's a lot of programs out there that tell you how to spend money.
Yes, that's for sure.
I mean, whether it be a business, Amazon, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're there to make money too, but there's a lot of ways to spend money. And we're told every day, whether it be through social media, whether it be through the media, whether it be through magazines, whatever it is, even word of mouth to each other, there's a lot of ways where people are telling us how to spend money, but no one tells us the other way. So we're in the vault and we're constantly being told to take money out of the vault.
Yes.
But we're not putting any money into the vault, and even though we might put $100 in there, we don't add to it. And we don't make that money that sits in the vault work for us. Just like you take an idea and you put your idea in a vault. That's great. You have it, but you got to make that idea work.
Yes.
So when people think of how can I be successful? How can you have to work on some of those ideas, but you have to put things into the vault. You can't constantly take out because if you keep depleting your energy like you did, you deplete your energy, you got tired, your heart got tired, you were stressed out. If you keep taxing yourself, taking out of your vault, taking out all and putting nothing back in, well, you're going to have some problems.
Yes.
You're going to have some problems. So, but like you said, breathe.
Yeah, say breathe, relax. Now you know that
even if you get $5,000 out of nowhere,
whatever it is,
breathe.
Yes, and she was, I'm glad that I met you. Let's do it.
Right.
So I really did one class with her, and she liked it. We're just waiting for the money to be transferred.
Right.
And she's gonna be good. And we go through life a lot of times. We're scared to take chances and take a risk. But I always tell people, you gotta have a abundance mind.
Right.
Think that everything's gonna be good. And take the chance because you never know what if this is the thing that you were waiting for.
Yeah.
What if this is the opportunity that you were looking for and you didn't know?
Yeah, you know, you're not going to know until you.
Yeah. You know, it's you gotta look at the things and this is I know this in the personality that's what makes the difference. That I'm the one that says, shit, let's try it, and we learn on the way how it works.
Just
Some
like
people they want,
yeah.
well, I want to know more about this, and then they start taking all the information, but they're putting things in the balls,
Right.
but they never take action. They never do anything.
Yeah.
So
It's
you know,
just
you
it's
gotta learn all that stuff, but also
yeah.
let's go. You learn on the way. You learn the process, you know, by doing it.
Yeah.
And so those are the things that is I was thinking the other day on my life, you know, how my parents they were always comfortable with what they
Right.
have. Why take any chances if I'm okay here?
Sure.
And that's how my father is, you know. I never took any chances because I was comfortable here.
Sure.
I was doing good money. We're having a good life.
Right.
And I said, why go find something else?
Right.
No. And I'm not like that. You know, shit, I'm comfortable right now, but I want more.
Yeah.
I want to get more.
And there's nothing wrong with wanting more.
So
I
let's
mean,
learn something else
right.
and go. So I was thinking, say, landscaping, I mean, do the eye exams, landscaping, you know, change person, the dancing place,
Right.
and dealing, and then supervisor, the number 3. I was in charge of 160 dealers or something like that every day.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I've been doing pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, now the business, I've been in this business for 7 years and it's good. And we just teaching people how to do all this stuff, how to plan, because it is very sad. A couple of years ago on Sunday, I met with somebody at the office.
Right.
And when I was finishing, an old man, not old, but, you know, he's in early 60s. He showed up and he goes, I want to plan my retirement. I said, okay. I said, you have an appointment with somebody? He goes, no, I just saw you sign and I see you open here. So I
Right.
walk
Just
in.
came on in. Yeah.
And I said, okay, so come on, you know, we went inside and I said, okay, so tell me, what's your plan?
Right.
And he goes, well, that's why I'm here, so you can tell me what to do. He was 61. He want to retire at 65.
Okay.
And it's okay. You own a house? No. You have any retirement plan at work? No. You have any investments? No. I said, so how are you planning to retire?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's.
I guess that's kind of
So he thought
basic
just
stuff.
he just thought walking into you could just give him a retirement plan.
And I say, you know, it's very hard. And he got a good job for like 25 years. I think he was in that company, making $7,000 a month.
Okay.
But he was spending $7,000 every month.
So he was basically spending everything he made.
Everything. And he never
over 25 years.
And he never planned for anything. He never decided to do anything.
So now
they offered him the retirement plan at work.
And he didn't take it.
And he goes, no, something is better is gonna come up. And I said, well, it's impossible.
Yeah. So he didn't put anything in his vault.
You can
put nothing in the vault.
Yeah. Put nothing in the vault. So that's what we're trying to. We have a campaign. We call it 30 by 30. So it's 30 million people by 2030. We're trying to educate them and make sure that they know the basics. They know what to do. We give them some ideas.
Do you want people to know who your company is? What your company is?
Under my name, David Mendez.
Yes.
Yeah. Look for me on Instagram. Is official David Mendez, and you send me a message, and I will help you out, give you some ideas. We now with the technology, we can do anywhere. We can do Zoom meetings.
Right.
You can do Zoom classes that I can teach you what to do. Can I give a number?
Yeah, absolutely.
702-300-5725. 702-300-5725. Look for me on Instagram as official David Mendez, and let's go from there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great. I mean, the fact that you offer these classes for free, and like you said, now with technology, you can do Zoom calls, you could do a FaceTime, you could do, however, just a phone call, even. And help people out who don't have the opportunity. And let's face it, everybody can say, well, it's their own fault for that. Like that one guy, he's making $7,000 and he's spending $7,000. Yeah, we get it. It's his own fault. Doesn't mean we can't give him some advice. If he's walking into your door, that's a cry for help.
Yes.
Now, if he's walking around the street and we know he's spending $7,000 and making $7,000 and he doesn't want to walk in your door, well, then, that's his own choice. And he's probably where he should be, right? Mm-hmm. Like we talk about, that's where he should be. I mean, he doesn't, but if he's purposely walking in and he's saying, hey, David, I need your help because I'm 61 and I want to be retired at 65. Well, that's a tall order, but let's see what you got. And at least you know where your baseline is with this guy. But the fact that he came in and said, hey, I need help, it's not too late. Yeah, you're 61. Should you have asked when you were 41? Maybe, but we can't go back in time. We can't make him feel bad about that. So we have to say, okay, fine. You're 61. Let's start here. Let's see what we can do. And you know what? He probably doesn't even have a high expectation either. He knows that it's late in the game, but at least you start. So
I sit down with him. I offered him some ideas. He didn't took it, but we try.
We try. I mean, but David, thank you.
No,
it's
thank you.
Been great. I mean,
I really love
fun.
this. Real people, real stories. This is my story. I'm sticking to it. Don't change nothing. And I was talking to a friend yesterday. She's into right now English. She starting to be something like psychologist.
A what?
A psychology.
A psychology. Okay. So a psychologist or psychiatrist or
not psychiatrist. She's gonna be helping people with therapy whenever they get into bad situations.
Okay.
And give you.
So she's a therapist.
Therapist.
I
lost the word right now.
Clinical
anyway, so she's doing all that stuff, but something
along those lines.
Yeah. And I was talking to her, and she goes, David, I know you all this time, and you always been very, very active, very
right.
When you talk, you're very animated, and you tell people things straight out. You never make it sound nice.
Right.
Sometimes it's really bad. But he goes, if you were born again, will you take the same path? I said yes.
Yeah.
I will not change nothing in my life.
Yeah, that's great.
It's been fun. It's been some good, some bad. But to me, that's how life is.
And I say the same thing. I don't regret anything that's happened in my life because what has happened put me where I am today.
Yes.
Put me near the people I need to be with today. It put me near a lot of things I need to be around today. So, I mean, you look at it that way. I mean, you're right. You don't regret anything. I'd be on the same path. That was the path I was meant to take. And here's where I am, because if I second guess every path that I passed up, doesn't necessarily mean that was a better path.
Yes, exactly.
There's a reason why I didn't take it.
Yeah.
So, and you and I, we met at basically a networking event months ago, and we became friends since then. But that event itself, we talked to people and we met different, it was a political event and we got to meet different people from different walks of life. And you could tell, just talking to people, and you could feel their energy. You could feel why they're there. You could all those types of things. And everybody's got something to offer and everybody's got something to give. And you just have to figure out what it is you have to offer. And you need to figure out what someone else has to give.
Exactly.
That's the way I look at it.
We got to take the chances and in everything is a good and bad. And then you decide which one is the best way to
take. And as long as you have something to offer people, they're going to give you some. Again, they have a vault too. If you want to make a deposit in their vault, they're willing to let you withdraw from their vault as well. But if you've got nothing to offer and you just want to take, someone's going to read that and say, you know what, that's not what this life's about.
Yes.
So, but thanks, David. It's been great. Awesome. And, I look forward to having you again.
Congratulations on this new podcast. I love the name.
Yeah.
The atmosphere, the place. I mean, this is amazing. Yeah. And I know you're going to have a lot of success. I know it's going to be very good.
Yep. So
I got a few friends that
a real person
got for you
with a real story. David Mendez. Kick back, right?
Yes. Kick back, like what we're doing right now. We kick back.
Thank you. Great.
Coffee, cigar.
Exactly. Awesome, buddy.
It was fun.